LA chewed up my dreams like it was a $2 pack of bubblegum. And I don't mean that in the poor me type of way at all. It was actually one of the most life-altering things I've ever experienced. And it changed my perspective on everything. For the better, though? Let me explain. This is me when it all began. This is also me, looking very mischievous. By 11, I was writing and playing my own music when nobody was looking. Eventually, I realized I wanted to share this music, and like many naive artists, I believed that all I had to do was share my soul to LA, at which point she would welcome me to the top with open arms. Don't think I didn't catch that little smirk on your face. Laugh now and cry later, because 6 months ago, you were the one feeding that fantasy. So why don't you just get back to your little book there and pretend that you're all innocent while I continue telling our story. Armed with all the wisdom that a wind powered by pure emotion can impart, I shook off the dust of Chicago and headed out wide-eyed to the promised land. My first few weeks in LA can best be described as pure elation. Everything seemed magical. I was occupying the same proximity as artists I have immense respect for. I felt like I was getting a foot in the door of a place I would soon be a welcome part of. If my path came across a dried up pickle that slid off someone's half-eaten hamburger, I was convinced that it was some kind of sign from the universe and my dreams were imminent, especially if that pickle was first spotted at 11:11. There were several points early on where fate did appear to smile on me. Little doors would crack open and shine light my way, but they never seemed to lead where I had hoped. Each time, though, I would feel in my core that my dream was getting nearer. Then, what seemed to be the dream of all dream scenarios took shape. I became certain this was my break, and was already owning this future as if I was holding in my guitar string calloused fingers. In the end, it led me to a great connection, but also the stark reality that I still had work to do. Quicker than the final flash of a fallen star, I went from soaring above the clouds to the bottom of the abyss. My world changed forever in that moment. It took every ounce of my resolve just to perform the basic acts of survival. I was in a terrible place mentally. I realized I had to reach deep down within my soul and pull myself out of this before it was too late. So, I headed back to Chicago, where I have a solid support system. As I played and replayed the events of the past several months in my head, I began to accept where I was. Then, to my absolute amazement, I eventually arrived at a place where I actually appreciated the life lessons this experience gave me. I feel like I gained decades of wisdom in 6 short months. Prior to this experience, my thoughts were consumed with the future my music was destined to provide me. So consumed with tomorrow that I never took a single minute to savor all the beauty offered by the simple moments of today. Now, I see the miracle of things I took for granted. Promise not to tell LA this, but a couple days ago, I was completely taken by the magnificence of the sun rising over a Midwestern cornfield. I'm cherishing everything now, and it's not only feeding my soul, but it's also fueling my creativity. I'm having new song ideas that I would have never had before. This cloud came with a massive silver lining, and I can't wait to hear the impact it'll have on my future writing. Stay tuned, and we're going to discover it together.